Health is wealth, guys. And I think until we fully understand how true that statement is, because a lot of the times people tell us things, but we don't actively believe them to be true until something happens to us. And then we're like, oh, right, those people that were saying this thing were right. And today I want to try to share with you the things that you can do to take care of your health coming from a medical student. So let's get into it. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to this little corner of the internet. Welcome to my podcast if you're listening in just with audio and no video. I'm really glad that you're here. I feel really grateful that you're listening, and I really hope that you're going to find what it is that you were looking for here. Today we're going to be talking not too much about personal development that I often focus on, but we're going to broaden a little bit the topics that I talk about, and we're going to focus on health and how to maintain your health and how to take care of your health, because it is so incredibly important, so incredibly crucial. It's such a foundation of what we can do in this life, and we cannot reach our goals, we cannot reach our dreams if our vessel, our body, our health is not doing well. And so there's a lot of different things that we can do every single day, every single week, every single month to take care of our health, maintain it, and prevent disease, prevent illness, prevent things that are preventable, right? Certain things sometimes in life will just hit you in the face and you would have not been able to do anything to prevent those things. But certain things, certain diseases, certain illnesses can be preventable if you implement the right practices early on in your life. And the earlier you do it, the better it is. Okay, so this podcast episode is going to be structured in two different parts, as often. The first part is going to be talking about why health is so important, the mindset shifts that you should probably adopt if you're struggling to take care of your health and make that a priority in your life. And then I'm going to be sharing with you the different things you can do in different areas of your life to stay healthy. So we're going to talk about food, exercise, and stress levels. All right, let's get into the actual episode. So the purpose of this video for me is to really remind you how important your health is. And I'm not going to lie, it was quite difficult this week to find a topic to talk about. I think that I was not super motivated, not super inspired by the personal development topics that I have right now to talk about. So I was like, you know what, let's try something a little bit different and let's talk about health. And the reason I'm doing this is because obviously I'm doing a master's this year, but I'm also a medical student. I've done a whole year in hospital last year and I have 2 other years coming up after my master's. And one thing that I really realized that would really annoy me, would really frustrate me and make me really sad was how many people, and also it makes sense obviously in the society that we live in and all of that, but it made me so deeply sad and frustrated to see so many people in hospital not take care of their own health. As in, they would come and see the doctor, I would talk to them, and I'll be like, right, so these are the different options that you have, and they just tell you, you choose, you're the doctor, you're the medical student. And I'm like, no, I've given you the options, or the doctor has given you the options. Now it's for you to figure out what works best for your life. And I see so many times people that make their health the last of their priorities, that make their health the last thing that is important to them, and that give their power to another person, right? The doctor is the powerful one. The doctor that went to medical school and is educated in this way is the person that should help me stay healthy, right? I'm not responsible for that. And I really want to shift that, because I think that this kind of mindset, this way of thinking, this way of looking at life is so damaging for our society. It's so damaging. First of all, if you look at the state of our healthcare system in most countries, it's not doing its best. And on top of that, if you add the population putting all of their power, all of their health understanding and all of their health decisions in the hands of other people, that's not okay. That's not right, because every single one of us is different. Every single one of us will respond to different things completely differently. And it's so incredibly important that we take charge of our own health. We can't think that this is somebody else's problem. Doctors are here to obviously help you heal, give you the right medications, listen to you, find the problems as what's happening. You come with symptoms, we investigate, we figure out what's happening, right? That's our job. Our job is not to take ownership of your own health. That's not our job. Our job is to help you on your journey. Our job is to help you heal, give you the right medication, but it's not to take ownership of your health. You should be the one that takes ownership of your health. And that is why I want to do this podcast. I want to talk about this because it's so incredibly important, and it's so incredibly dangerous, honestly, when people put the weight of their health into somebody, the wealth, and also like the how precious your health is into somebody else's hands and think that they are responsible for that. No, we are all responsible for our own health. And so if you're somebody that's watching this, listening to this episode, and you want to get healthier, you want to live a better life in the sense that like you want to feel healthier, you want to have more energy, I think the first thing to do is to realize that your health is your responsibility. Stephen Bartlett says it quite often, that he has this analogy that it's like, if on a table you have everything that matters to you, right? You have your family, your job, your kids, your dogs, your cats, like, you know, everything that matters to you is on a table. The table is actually your health, because if your health crumbles, if it breaks down, everything on top of it will break down. The wish of the people that are ill is to not be ill, right? You can have all the dreams that you want to have. You can want to aspire to do every single thing that you want to do in your life, only if your body is able to do that, only if you have the health to do that, right? If you are trying to manifest certain things in your life, if you're trying to bring in certain things in your life, like, you know, have the business, have the job, have whatever, you will not be able to have the energy to go after these things if your body is ill, if your body is unable to bring you there. And so you can't forget that you have to have a working, healthy, energized body to get you to your dreams. And if you don't have that, your first priority should be, how can I heal? How can I get to a place where I'm the healthiest that I can be? And the best way to do that, especially if you're currently like relatively healthy, is to take your health in your own hands now. And I know I sound super passionate about it, but because it's so much easier to prevent disease than it is to reverse disease, than it is to treat and heal disease. And so if I can just share one thing with you in this episode, is please, please, please take responsibility for your own health and pick up habits one after the other. It doesn't have to be everything at once. We're going to talk about the different things you can do. It doesn't have to be everything at once, but pick up habits here and there and make it a priority in your life to pick up those healthy habits, and you'll notice over time that you're going to build on top of these habits over time, and you'll get like your health is going to like compound over time, but you've got to start somewhere. Health is so important, and we don't realize how important it is until we have a health scare, until somebody in our life has a health scare, until something bad happens. A lot of the times for people to realize, oh my God, I only have one body, right? You only have one body, guys. You really just only have one. If this body that you're currently listening to this video, watching this video, something happens to it, that's it. You know, like you have to then, you can't be like, right, this one is wrong, like the new iPhone, right? Oh, my iPhone doesn't charge well anymore, let's just buy a new one. You can't buy a new body. You're then going to have to work really hard to heal it and treat it and take care of it. And so might as well start taking care of it now. It's like this quote that says, if you don't make time for your wellness, you will be forced to make time for your illness. And that's exactly what I want to share with you today. That's exactly why I'm like, oh, this video is so important, because, and it's so close to my heart, because I see that so many times. I've seen it so many times in hospital, and honestly breaks my heart to see patients that I'm like, this could have been prevented. This genuinely could have been prevented, and it hasn't been. And now you're in so much pain, and now you're in this hospital bed, unable to move, unable to go after your dreams. And it's just so freaking sad. And just thinking about it, I don't think about it often, because it actually angers me sometimes to see that certain things that are so preventable, we just don't do that. We don't take care of it. People are not educated in that way. And if I can do my little part in this to help, I definitely will. So this will definitely not be the only video that I do about health. I think I'm going to do a couple more, but we'll start with the basics. So the first thing, and I say that so many times, is obviously I've shared with you why I think it's important, the purpose of this video. But if you're still struggling to take that leap and, you know, want to lead a healthier life, I say that all the time, but start with the why. You know, try to figure out, why is this something that is important to you? Because if you've clicked on this video, if you've clicked on this podcast, it means that somewhere deep inside of you, even if you're not fully aware of it, it means that somewhere inside of you, that is something that you want to do in your life. You want to be healthier. You want to make healthier choices. You want to feel better in your body. You want to have more energy, whatever it is. Somewhere deep inside, even though you might still be like, oh, like health is not my thing. It's not my responsibility. If I feel ill, I'll just go see the GP and they'll fix it for me. All of that. If you've clicked on this video, of just a random medical student talking online, it means that somewhere deep inside of you, there's something that's telling you, hey, bestie, this is something that we should dive in a little bit deeper in. This is something that we're interested in. How can we take care of our health better? And so the simple process, as I said, that you've just clicked on this means that there's an interest there. It means that there's something in you that's telling you, this is something we want to do. And so finding the purpose, finding the why. Why did you click on this video? Why was this important to you? Why is it that you want to take care of your health more? And whenever you find your own personal why, is the time where you're going to have the best driving force to help you in this journey. Because until you have a clear why, a clear purpose as to why you're starting this new journey, it's the same with personal development. Today we're talking about more like health stuff. It's only when you have that strong why that you're going to be able to have the momentum, have the energy to go through with this journey. Because like every other journey in life, it's going to have its ups, it's going to have its downs, it's going to go up and down like a wave, like the ECG, the echocardiogram. It's going to go all over the place as well. You're going to have really, really good days and then really bad days. And you're going to have days where you feel like, oh my God, I'm the healthiest that I've ever been. And then you're going to drop back down and feel like all of the efforts that you're doing are for nothing. But when you have the appropriate why, you're going to keep going. That's the purpose of the why. That's the purpose of knowing the purpose of why you do things, is to help you keep going when it gets hard. Because if you don't have that, if you don't know why you're doing certain things, you're not going to keep going when it gets hard. When shit hits the fan, you're going to be like, well, I guess it's hit the fan. I'm out now. Goodbye. But if you have a clear why, if you have a clear purpose, you're not going to do that, because you're going to know that where you're going and the reason why you want to head there and the reason why you want to go there is so much better. You're going to have the vision. And when you have the vision, you're not going to stop till you get there, whatever it takes. Right, guys, let's now move on to talking to you about the different things you can do, the different sort of small tips, small tricks to start implementing in your life right now to slowly but surely start getting a little bit healthier. So we'll start with food. Obviously, I'm sure that at school or at some point you guys have heard that a healthy diet is composed of carbohydrates, protein, and vegetables, right? And also, I don't know if you guys know this, but sugar, carbohydrates are not the enemy. We do need them, right? They're not the enemy, but they're often, we eat too much of them, basically. There's sugar in everything that we eat, basically. Everything that's processed, there's sugar on it. If you look at labels, oftentimes sugar is the second ingredient or sometimes even the first one. And eating too much sugar is what causes diabetes, for example. And so what you can do if you notice that you're eating a lot of carbohydrates, because carbohydrates are sugars, right? Bread is sugar, rice is sugar, pasta is sugar. And so a good thing to do if you notice that you're eating a lot of bread, a lot of pasta, a lot of rice, on top of that you're having sweets, and then you're having cookies, and then you're putting ketchup on everything, and you start to notice that actually the sugar that you're eating every day, like the actual just sugar, is super, super high. And one good way of like getting a little bit healthier is slowly but surely reducing the sugar. I'm not saying reduce the sugar to nothing. I'm just saying slowly but surely cutting things out, as in slowly but surely cutting things out of your diet. So maybe instead of putting ketchup on everything, you can change that to making your own homemade tomato sauce, which has probably a lot less sugar in it. Or if you're having sweets all the time, maybe switching those sweets that you're eating every day to blueberries, raspberries, a fruit, apples, whatever it is. So instead of just cutting things out fully, sometimes it's easier to change them with something a little bit healthier, a little bit of a healthier option. I also want to mention here that it angers me. It actively angers me and frustrates me how expensive eating healthy is, knowing that food and eating good, proper food is one of the best ways to prevent disease, to prevent illness, and the fact that eating unhealthy food, processed food, with bad oils, bad sugars, all of it that will, if you eat too much of it, will actively make you ill, like with basically no doubt you're going to get ill. It angers me that this is so much cheaper than buying a good vegetable, buying fruit, buying things that are of good quality. And it's so freaking annoying because it means that it's so much harder for people to make healthy decisions. And that's why I've talked about how important it is to have the why, because it might be that if you want to be healthier, you're going to have to prioritize your finances, organize your budget in a slightly different way and allocate more money for food and maybe decrease on going out or decrease on travel or whatever it is to eat healthier. And that is honestly something that sometimes makes my blood boil, but it's fine to just think about how just making healthier choices and trying to lead a healthier lifestyle is just so much more expensive. And it shouldn't be. It honestly shouldn't be, because it would decrease the pressure on the healthcare system. It would make people a lot healthier. And overall, I don't know very much about the whole finance situation, but I'm pretty sure that if more people were healthy because healthy food was more accessible, there'll be a lot less strain on the healthcare system. And in the end, I don't think that a lot of people would be losing that much money. But people like to do that, right? They like to make things that are bad for you super, super cheap so that you get ill, so that then you go to the healthcare system, so that you then take the medication and then they get their money, right? Because if everybody was healthy and everybody did not have diabetes and did not have all of those preventable illnesses, diabetes types 2, by the way, they didn't have all of those preventable illnesses, people would not be taking their medications, and then those pharmaceutical companies would not be having the money that they are like living off of and of their billions and everything. Anyways, we sidetracked. But healthier decisions, swapping things out for something healthier, swapping your sweets for fruit, swapping your processed cookie that you've bought that is probably filled with certain stabilizers and things that are not super great for you, and swapping those for cookies that you've made at home, that you know what you've put in it, you know that you've made them, you know that you don't have weird stabilizers in there, things like that. So small decisions that you can make. Other thing that you can do as well is, if you realize and notice that you're eating, the carbs that you're eating are often pasta, rice, potatoes, you can start to realize that there's different types of carbs as well. There's carbs that are more complex, meaning that they take a lot longer to digest and they're a little bit better for your body, meaning that they don't cause this peak of sugar in your body just after you eat. So these carbs are like sweet potatoes, whole grains, beans, certain vegetables as well. So maybe adding those to your diet as well, and in your rotation of not just like pasta, rice, bread, adding something new to the rotation as well can also help you make healthier decisions. It also helps you, complex carbs, to stay full a little bit longer. So that also helps with probably eating slightly less as well during the day. Again, it's not your fault, okay? We're not blaming anybody here. Another thing that you can do with food is to organize your life with food in mind. Meaning, if you know that you're going to have a super, super busy week, take the weekend to meal prep. Take the weekend to cook some food that you know that it will have good quality, good nutrients, that will keep you full for quite a bit of time, and that you can then reach for during your busy week, that you can then bring to your job, meaning that you're more likely to make healthier decisions, right? Because if you know that you should be eating healthy, but on top of that, you're stressed and then you're going to work and you didn't have time to cook the day before and you have no food, you're going to get to work, you're going to get hungry, you're just going to buy something downstairs that's not super healthy, and then the cycle continues. And so a lot of the times, actually being healthy or making healthier decisions is actually planning appropriately. It's planning and understanding how your week looks like, understanding how stressed you're going to be during this week, and planning accordingly. It's kind of like a loving hug to your future self, being like, I know that this week is about to be stressful. This week is about to be really busy. You're not going to have a lot of time. So I've taken the time to organize the food situation so that you're still well kept, so that you're still well taken care of. You still have good food, good nutrients coming in every single day because I've taken care of you. It's like a warm embrace, a warm I've got me, right? And that's something that I do basically every time that I eat. I cook basically every day, and what I do is that I cook 2 portions in the evening, meaning that I have that for dinner, and then I pack that for my lunch so that I have that in the lab, meaning that I always know that I am having good food that I've cooked myself, and I'm not going to run to the Sainsbury's and buy a meal deal or something that is not going to be as healthy, as nutrition. It's not going to keep me as full, and it's just going to make me feel a little bit off, right? Also, the thing is that when you start eating better, when you start making a bit of those healthier decisions in your life, you're going to start to realize and start to see how your body changes. And so I actively encourage you, when you start doing this, to Take notice of what is happening in your body. Do you feel less bloated? Do you have more energy? Do you feel happier? Do you feel like that you're just like a slight shift that's happening in your body? And because all of these things are cues, they're like feedback that comes back to you of telling you, right, you're doing the good thing, you're doing something good for you. And having those positive feedbacks coming to you is sometimes really, really helpful to keep going as well. Realizing, right, like I've, taken out the sweets out of my diet basically and changed those for fruits. And I feel a lot better. I feel less groggy in the morning. I feel like I can fall asleep better. Another thing to talk about is at what time are you eating? Digestion is a very, very long process, very energy greedy, right? I don't know if you've heard about these terms called rest and digest and fight or flight. And so when you're really, really stressed, let's say a tiger comes up to you, you're going to go immediately into fight or flight. You're going to want to try to run. You're going to get blood is going to go to your eyes, to your ears. You're going to be super alert to your muscles, ready to run, right? And very little blood is going to go to your digestive system. It's going to be like, right, we're stopping everything. Right now we're focusing on running, getting back to safety. And we need good hearing to know where the tiger is, right? We need good vision to know where we're going to go and spot exactly the best hiding spot. We need our hearts to pump blood really, really fast so that we can start running, right? But then we have rest and digest. And that's the opposite end. It's the parasympathetic system. And that's when your body is giving attention, blood to your digestive system to allow you to digest. And even when you see that there's fight or flight and rest and digest, it shows you how important digesting is and how long of a process it is. It takes about 3 to 4 hours, if I remember correctly, to digest. And that's something that is very, very energy sucking. And so if you eat super, super late just before going to bed, your body's going to be focused on digesting and not falling asleep. And so sometimes, again, making those slight changes of being like, right, I'm going to eat 3 to 4 hours before I'm supposed to fall asleep, which would help me fall asleep better, have a better night's sleep, because I'm going to fall asleep and I won't be digesting anymore, right? And so I'm going to be able to focus my energy on falling asleep, and I won't be sharing half of falling asleep, half digesting. And you might realize that if you do that often, you do that, over a month, that you actually sleep better. You realize, oh, I have more energy. I feel a lot better within myself. And so these are like small different things that I can think of right now that I think would be really, really good to start implementing slowly but surely. Again, don't do everything at once. We want sustainable change. We want sustainable growth, not the 1st of January epidemic, right? Where you do the thing for like a month and then it's done. No, we want something sustainable. So whatever I've said on the food category, pick the things that resonated with you that you're like, ooh, that's something that I want to try, and start doing that. And then once you've done that and you feel confident with it, you feel like you found how to make it work for you, add something else to the mix. And then keep a track on how you feel throughout the day. Food, and the reason why I'm talking about food first is because that's the most important thing for health. Food is the building blocks of who we are, right? What we put in our body is the energy that we give to our body. It's the quality of the energy we give in our body, right? Different carbohydrates, different vegetables, different protein, different oils they might have the same calories in it, but they don't have the same quality in it. And so trying to strive for better quality will also mean that the building blocks, like the bricks that you're giving your body to build itself, to give itself energy, are of better quality. And we want strong foundations, right? If we're building a house, you would want the best house there is. You would want the house with the best foundations, with the best bricks, right? Strong, so it can withstand anything. And that's the thing. Why would you do that for your house, but not the house that you will literally live in your body for the rest of their life? From the moment you were born to the moment that you're going to leave this earth, you're going to be living in this house that is your body. And so I think that it's also important to put in the best quality that you can in it so that you have the best, strongest foundations, right? We've talked about food. Now let's talk about exercise, because I feel like a lot of people sometimes are like, oh, how do I lose weight? Let me just exercise. Let me just do cardio or whatever. Yes, it's important to exercise. It's really, really important. But again, as I told you, food is the most important thing. Get the food right first. Obviously, you can do things in parallel and dabble with things a little bit, but food is a lot more important health-wise than anything else that you can do. But exercise. Exercise is really, really important, guys. But exercise comes in a lot of different flavors and a lot of different tints and a lot of different ways. So when somebody tells you, or you go to the doctor and they tell you, have a physical activity, it does not mean that you have to go to the gym and lift weights. It doesn't mean that you have to start training for a marathon. It means move your freaking body. Do that in a way that you enjoy. And I honestly think that exercise is super, super important because, first of all, it helps your body keep healthy, right? It helps you evacuate energy. It helps you sweat. Sweat is important. Like, sweating is important. It allows you to detoxify, get the bad things out of your body. That's important. That's a lot of the different things that are good about exercise. But also exercise releases endorphins, happy hormones, makes you happier, makes you feel more energized as well. And so if you don't do these things, if you don't move, if you stay on the couch all the time, if you're just at work, typing away and you never have a physical activity, you're missing out on actually having higher energy levels. And that's sad. We want higher energy levels. We want to feel like we can conquer the world, like we can just dance the day away, right? And so exercise does not mean, as I said, just to be in the gym and lift weights or just to go for a run or whatever. Exercise, and I think the best type of exercise that people can do is the exercise that they enjoy. It's the exercise that you guys enjoy, at least as a starting point. If you're somebody that's never done exercise before, try to find something that you enjoy. And a lot of the times exercise can be free. You can go for a walk. Let's say your job is 30 minutes, 35 minutes walk away from your house. Maybe switch around the fact that maybe 3 or 4 times a week, instead of going to work by car, by commuting, go to work by walking. And if you do that consistently, let's say 3 to 4 days a week, you're going to realize, oh, I'm feeling healthier, because you're walking for an hour a day every single day, and you have to do that. Right? If you decide, actually, my work is an hour by walk away and it's a little bit too far, but it's actually only half an hour by bike, maybe you can buy a bike and cycle if that makes you happy. So the best exercise that I think people can do is the exercise that makes sense to them. It's the exercise that they enjoy. It's the exercise that they feel like, oh, I'm excited to do this today. Obviously, guys, at the end of the day, we're not always going to be motivated to do everything, right? I go to the gym maybe 5 to 6 times a week. That doesn't mean that every single day that I'm going to the gym, I'm happy and I'm, jumping up and down because I'm going to the gym. No, it just becomes part of a routine. It becomes something that is important to me, and you do it, right? You make it a priority. You're like, you don't think anymore. You're like, this is part of my routine. I'm just going to go home, get dressed, go to the gym. But at the end of the day, I like going to the gym. This is the type of exercise that I enjoy. I could never sustain becoming a runner because I don't like running. So I would literally just make me so annoyed if I had to force myself to run, because I wouldn't enjoy it. So the best thing that you can do, especially if you're starting out, is to find the physical activity that you enjoy. Is it rollerblading? Is it skating? Is it walking? Is it running? Is it going to the gym? Is it HIIT exercises? Is it at home workouts? Is it yoga? Just find something that allows you to move your body. And then once you've done that, then you can build on it. Be like, right, I really, really love yoga, but I feel like yoga is not hitting my cardio requirements. What can I do cardio-wise that I enjoy enough? Is it running? Is it HIIT exercises? Is it cycling at the gym, sorry. You know what I mean? So then you can slowly but surely start building on the foundations that you have. But the first foundation should be finding a physical activity that you enjoy, that actually makes you smile. Is it dancing? Maybe you've danced a lot as a kid and then you stopped and now you're just like, oh, like I can't go back. But maybe you can. Maybe you can. And yeah, just find that physical activity that you enjoy. It'll help you feel so much more energized. And it's a bit weird because you feel exhausted after you work out, but it's almost as if the next day you have more energy. It's very weird. But again, I would think it would be good for you guys to figure out what's the workout that works best for you, the workout type that works best for you, that makes you happy, that brings a smile on your face. But also, again, try to track how you feel. Try to track when you've started this thing. Try to track how you feel. And don't try to go too fast immediately. Again, we set sustainable growth. So there's no point in going to the gym 6 times a week if you're only going to do that for 2 weeks. Maybe go twice a week for 4 weeks, for 6 weeks, and then see if you can add an extra day, right? Again, when you're making a change, always ask yourself, how can I make this sustainable? I want this to last long. I don't want this to leave my life as fast as it entered my life. I want this to be sustainable. And for it to be sustainable, it has to be something that you can very easily fit into your existing life, right? Sorry, I need to add battery, charge my camera. Oh, cool. And now we're moving on to the last section because we've talked about food, really, really important. The most important thing in my eyes. Then we've talked about, is this charge? Yeah. And then we've talked about exercise, move your body, guys. It's going to make you feel better. It's going to help you release your stress. It's going to make you have happy hormones, endorphins, feel more energized, all of that stuff. And I don't know if you've heard about this. It's going to help you release stress. The next thing we're going to talk about is stress management, because stress is like, how would I explain that? Stress is like an ingredient that will always make disease worse, or an ingredient that creates disease. And so trying to find a way to keep your stress at bay is a really important thing to consider in your health journey. You can be as healthy as you want, you can eat as good as you want, work out as much as you want, but if stress is not kept under control, you are at a very, very high risk of getting ill, getting an autoimmune disease, getting just some sort of disease that is stress driven. Even though you are super, super healthy on the outside, you eat really well. If you're super stressed, disease will still catch you. And again, as I told you, disease can catch anyone, right? Sometimes in life, things are not predictable. Things can happen to any one of us. I'm just trying to keep the things that are preventable at bay for all of us. And so the stress management things are everything that I talk about in so many of my videos. Personal development is a way to keep your stress at bay. It's a way to understand, where is the stress coming from? Why am I so stressed? It's a way to understand, to start getting to know yourself and figure out techniques that can help you to lower that stress when it does happen. Because at the end of the day, getting stressed is relatively normal, right? But do you stay stressed really, really long after the trigger that caused the stress is gone? What we're trying to do is to help you find ways to bring the stress back down as fast as possible once the trigger is gone, right? We don't want to stay stressed for a week. If something stressed you on Monday, you don't want to still be stressed about that one thing on Friday, right? We're Friday now. Why are we still stressed about the thing that happened on Monday? The Monday is gone. This is not stressful anymore. But for some reason, your body still feels stressed about it. And so finding ways, you can use personal development for that, is really, really important to stay healthy. So ways that I personally have found to keep my stress at bay is understanding how I work, understanding my triggers, what triggers my stress. I'm somebody that hates change. Oh, my life, change scares me, right? Especially, and the more important thing is not like big life changes. That's still scary, but it doesn't anger me and stresses me the same as like if I have my day fully planned out, I know exactly what I'm doing when, and then it's like, actually change of plans. No. We're not changing the plans. The plans have been made. We're not changing the plans. That's something that really stresses me out. And so I know these triggers, and I know that, right, this is something that just happens to me. And so I need to then be like, right, the plans have been changed and it's okay. And figuring out a way to lower that stress level can go through different ways. Some people are like, I need to breathe it out, right? Like deep breathing and breathing techniques, right? Other people are like, right, I can tap it out. The Tap with Brad videos that I talk about constantly. EFT tapping for like feeling a little bit better, decreasing your stress. That's something that I do quite a bit, and is quite helpful for me. You can also do meditation, right? If you practice meditation quite often, you're going to realize that you're helping yourself to feel a lot calmer, a lot better within yourself. You're learning to learn your body's cues. You're starting to learn how to keep that stress at bay, how to get back to within your body. Because a lot of the times when you're stressed, you're outside of yourself. But meditation allows you to come back within yourself, come back to the core of who you are, and realize that you're safe within there. You're okay. Right? And then so you can do meditation. You can also, what I sometimes do, especially if I'm in the middle of the day and I can't just like close my eyes and meditate, talking to people, sometimes talking about the stress that you're having. If it's to a coworker, to a friend, to your parent, to your boyfriend, whoever it is, it can be really, really helpful. And if you can't do that because you're like, well, I don't feel comfortable dumping right now. And because sometimes also people are like, hey, I don't want you to dump on me today. Like, I do not want to, I personally as well, currently am stressed and I can't handle somebody else's stress right now. That's okay. You can journal. You can dump it on a page. A page will not fight back. So you can just write it down. You can record it on your phone and just talk to your phone as if you're talking to someone. And you realize that the moment you make your stress verbal, you make the stress that you have or the thing that is stressing you out, you take it out from your body and into the real world, through talking to someone, journaling, doing an audio, it helps you release it. It's almost as if it leaves your body and you're like, right, I've talked about it now it's a lot easier. So finding all of these little techniques can also really, really, really help you to keep that stress at bay. And obviously, if you're somebody that struggles a lot with anxiety, that anxiety is an actual real issue. It's not just like, oh, I get stressed and then I'm fine. It's like active anxiety. Please talk to someone. Please seek help. If obviously sometimes it's not possible. Sometimes there's financial issues and things like that. But as much as you can, don't stay quiet. Don't stay silent. It's people's jobs to help you with this. It's people's jobs to support you in that way. And so know that the support is out there. Know that even though might take a while to find the appropriate type of support, the appropriate person that you feel comfortable talking to, you will find them. And don't think that you're alone in this, right? And so I think that's really, really important. And I think that's probably where I'm going to close this podcast episode, because I feel like I've talked so much already. And I'll definitely probably do another episode about this at some point with different tips, different techniques, different tricks. But yeah, if you did enjoy this video and this podcast episode, please, please, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, share this video with other people that could benefit from it as well. As I often say, guys, I'm trying to build a community here, right? I'm showing up every single Sunday with a new podcast episode. I honestly think high quality content. And so I need your help. If you think that this can be helpful for somebody in your life, please send it their way. Don't gatekeep it. Please send it their way. I want to help as many people as I can. And sometimes I just needed a little bit of extra help from you guys to send it to your friends and family that could benefit from it as well. And if you're listening to this on the podcast, thank you. The podcast is my baby. I love it so much. And yeah, if you could rate the podcast, leave a review, subscribe to it, I would be super, super, super grateful to you guys. And without further ado, I'm going to go. I have to go to the lab today. If you want to hear a little bit about my life, I have to go to the lab today and then I have to edit this. So I love you guys so much and I will see you guys super, super soon next week. Bye.